Good morning, my dear students. We are in Unit 22, World of Microbes Lesson. In today's class, we are going to discuss about vector-borne diseases. Vector is what? It is an agent that acts as an intermediate carrier of the pathogen. That means the infection is carried from one person to the other with the help of vector. That is, vector carries the infection from one area to the other area, or from one person to the other person. That's what we say it as vector. So here, what's a vector? Vector may be an insect or animal. So here this vector carry the diseases. So the diseases are transmitted by the vectors, and that's why it's called as vector-borne diseases. So if a disease is carried from one person to the other person with the help of vector, then those kind of diseases are called vector-borne diseases. Example, malaria, filaria, chikungunya and dengue. So we are going to discuss about these diseases today and how it is transmitted. Okay. First, let's see about malaria. Here, the pathogen is malarial parasite. What is the malarial parasite? Plasmodium. So, malaria is caused by the plasmodium. So, what's the host here? That is host in a sense where this plasmodium will be alive, where it is reproducing. So that's what we say it as host. So there are two hosts here. One is female Anopheles mosquito and human being. So this plasmodium can live and develop more and more in this two category. What are they? Mosquito and human being. Here in mosquito, sexual reproduction of this plasmodium takes place, and in human beings asexual reproduction takes asexual reproduction takes place in the human being, and sexual reproduction of this plasmodium takes place in the mosquito. That is about the plasmodium, how it reproduces. So what are the hosts here? Mosquito and human being. Okay, so this is caused by four varieties of the pathogens or plasmodium. So Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malaria, Plasmodium ovale or Plasmodium vivax. These are the categories of pathogens. Okay, now we will see the life cycle of the plasmodium. So how this plasmodium undergo development. Here, how it undergoes life cycle in the man. First, the infective stage is sporozoite. The sporozoite, this word you should remember. The infective stage of the plasmodium is sporozoite. This sporozoite, it transferred to the human being through the mosquito bite. Okay, so mosquito when it is biting transfers the sporozoite to the human being, and this parasite sporozoite reaches the liver. Its target is what? Liver. That reaches the liver through the blood, and then parasite reproduce. Already I told you asexual reproduction takes place in the human being. So this parasite reproduce asexually where? In the liver. It can produce more and more sporozoid in the liver, and that will be released into the blood. So normally we say malaria affects the liver, isn't it? So reproduction, asexual reproduction takes place in the liver only. So from the liver, it is released into the blood. So now the parasite will enter into the red blood cell. There are three types of cell. You have learnt: white blood cell, red blood cell and platelets. Here this parasite will enter into the red blood cell, and in the red blood cell also it reproduce, and now the blood will be infected with the parasite, and that red blood cells will burst and affect the new red blood cells also. That's how this plasmodium or this parasite will make an entry into red blood cells and affect the red blood cells. And the sexual stage of gametocyte will develop in the red blood cell. So for the sexual reproduction, gametophyte is necessary. For the formation of gametophyte, here it happens, sexual stage of gametocytes will take place where? In the red blood cell. And now it's ready for the further reproduction. Now listen carefully children, this is about the life cycle, what's happening in the man. In man, asexual reproduction only takes place. That means the infected parasite in a sporozoid form, it will enter into the human being through mosquito bite, then reaches the liver, and from there it reaches the red blood cell, and there it affects the new red blood cell also and forms the gametocyte. Gametocyte development where? In the red blood cell. See, that whatever I explained you is in the picture format. See, sporozoid is entering into the liver, and then from there it is making entry into red blood cell, and thereby asexual reproduction will take place in the red blood cell, and the red blood cell is burst opening and affect the nearby healthy red blood cells also. Thereby the blood cells are affected, red blood cells are affected, and then it reaches, and then there gametocyte formation will be there. Gametocytes or the gametes, gamete productivity will be there, and then that gametocytes will be sucked by the mosquito. So if the infected person is bitten by the mosquito will take up the gametocytes. Actually, mosquitoes will have a meal with the human. What's the meal for mosquito? Blood, isn't it? It sucks the blood. So when it is sucking the blood, gametocyte will make an entry into the mosquito. So if the mosquito is biting the infected person, it takes the gametocyte, and thereby it transfers it to the healthy person. And then now let's see what's happening with the mosquito. After sucking the blood, let's see what is happening with the mosquito. Life cycle in mosquito. Already I told you, female Anopheles mosquito is responsible for this parasitic transfer, especially this malaria, isn't it? Whenever mosquito is biting, you remember children, only female mosquitoes will bite. Okay, this Anopheles take up the gametocyte from the blood meal, and then fertilization and development will take place in the stomach of the mosquito. The zygote, I told you, gametocyte formation, that is gamete formation will take place in the red blood cell itself. So now when the mosquito is having the meal, it takes the gametocyte and that develops the zygote. That zygote will be elongated to form the ookinete. It's one form, okay, elongated form of zygote, that is ookinete. And that ookinete will become oocyte, where in the stomach of the mosquito. So oocyte formation will take place where? In the stomach of the mosquito. Inside the oocytes only sporozoids are formed. That sporozoids will be stored up in the salivary gland of the mosquito. So the sporozoid which is formed will be released in the body cavity, and that matured sporozoid will penetrate into the salivary gland. Now sporozoid is an infective form which will be stored up in the salivary gland of the mosquito. But this sporozoid will not affect the mosquito. So this parasite will not affect the mosquito, nothing harm for the mosquito. It is only harmful for the human beings. So now sporozoids are stored up in the salivary gland of mosquito, and this mosquito, when it is biting the healthy person, it will transfer the sporozoids into the healthy person, and again the life cycle of the plasmodium will take place. So this sporozoid will directly reach the liver and then to the red blood cell, and then that red blood cell will be sucked by the mosquito, and thereby life cycle of this plasmodium will continue. Can you understand, children? So this is the life cycle of plasmodium. It is happening with the human being and the mosquito and the human being. Now this human species of plasmodium, so it is possible with what are the kinds of plasmodium? Plasmodium vivax, plasmodium malaria, plasmodium falciparum and plasmodium ovale. And here plasmodium falciparum is very dangerous. It is fatal. That means it can even kill the human being. Okay, malaria is possible with this plasmodium falciparum, and also it is mentioned that it is very dangerous. And next, symptoms of malaria. Malaria can cause these symptoms. If a person is affected by malaria, that person will have these symptoms: headache, nausea. Nausea means, feeling like vomiting. Then muscular pain, chillness, shivering, followed by rapid rise in temperature. The person may shiver a lot with the high temperature. The person will sweat a lot, but temperature will be high. Okay, these are the symptoms of malaria. What treatment can be given against this malaria? Quinine is a drug used to kill the malarial parasite. Even malaria vaccine is available. And next, let's discuss about chikungunya fever. Okay, this is also happening with the help of vector. Okay, this chikungunya fever is caused by virus. It is transmitted in humans by the bite of infected Aedes aegypti mosquito. This is Aedes aegypti mosquito, and it is caused by the bite of this mosquito. Okay, this chikungunya fever is transferred, actually it is caused by virus. Okay, so that virus is transmitted from one human to the other human with the help of this vector. What vector? Mosquito. What kind of mosquito? Aedes aegypti mosquito. This bites during the daytime. Transmission of chikungunya. It is under 3 stages. 1, mosquito bite. Okay, and 2, maternal to fetal transmission. Okay, that is 3 ways the chikungunya can transfer, either by mosquito bite, or from mother to child, or blood products and organ transplantation. So if the transplantation of organ is done, or else blood is transferred from one person to the other person, by all this means chikungunya will get transmitted from one person to the other person. And next, let's discuss about dengue virus. And before that, I want to tell you this chikungunya incubation period is about 2 to 12 days. Okay, this virus, if it makes an entry into the body, it shows the symptoms actually between the days of 2 to 12 days. What are the symptoms? Chillness, high fever, vomiting, nausea, headache, joint pain, difficulty in walking. These are the symptoms of chikungunya. Okay, for this only paracetamol tablet can be given to reduce the fever as well as pain. This is about the chikungunya fever. What are the points to remember? It is caused by virus, and what's a vector here? Aedes aegypti mosquito. Okay, and incubation period is 2 to 12 days, and symptoms are chillness, high fever, vomiting, headache, and joint pain. These are the symptoms of chikungunya. And next, let's discuss about dengue virus. This dengue virus is otherwise called breakbone fever. Okay, why the name breakbone fever was given? Due to the cause of intense joint as well as muscle pain. Okay, this fever brings joint as well as muscle pain, and here it is caused by virus only. This dengue fever is caused by virus and also transmitted by Aedes aegypti mosquito. Already you would have heard about this mosquito. This chikungunya fever is also caused by Aedes aegypti mosquito. That is, vector is Aedes aegypti mosquito for both chikungunya and dengue. Next, the signs and symptoms of the dengue fever. If a person is affected by this dengue fever, sudden onset of high fever, temperature will rise, severe headache, mostly in the forehead pain will be felt, pain behind the eyes which worsen with the eye movement, body ache and joint pain. Also, the person suffers with nausea or vomiting. These are the symptoms of dengue fever. Treatment. There is no specific medication for this treatment of dengue infection. Person who think they have dengue should use pain relievers to avoid the pain. Okay, aspirin should be avoided. Paracetamol like drug can be taken to avoid the pain. Complete rest is necessary. Drink plenty of fluid items and consult the physician. These are the treatment for dengue fever. And next disease what we are going to discuss about is filariasis. Filariasis is the major health problem in the India. Filaria are thread-like nematodes which spread by obligatory blood-feeding insect vector. So, this disease is caused by nematode. It's a worm. What worm? Wuchereria bancrofti. I'll show you. Yeah, this is the nematode. This is a worm. Wuchereria bancrofti. So, this disease filariasis is caused by this nematode only. The adult worms are usually found in the lymphatic system of the man. It is transmitted by the bite of infected Culex mosquito. So here the vector is what? Culex mosquito. And the incubation period of this filarial worm is about 8 to 16 months. And the symptoms include acute infection, fever, as well as inflammation in the lymph glands. The chronic infection, the main feature of this disease, filaria, that is caused by the nematode worm is elephantiasis. Very pathetic, right? Actually, it's a major, filariasis is a major health problem in India, and the chronic infection is elephantiasis. This affects the legs, swelling in the leg. It is happening with the nematode worm. What's the name of the worm? Wuchereria bancrofti. Okay, and it is transmitted by the infected Culex mosquito. This is about the filaria. So we have discussed about malaria, chikungunya, dengue and filaria. Filaria is caused by Wuchereria bancrofti. Chikungunya is caused by virus and transmitted by the vector Aedes aegypti mosquito. Dengue also the same mosquito, Aedes aegypti mosquito. Malaria is caused by Plasmodium and the vector here is mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito. And finally we saw filaria is caused by nematode Wuchereria bancrofti. And here the vector is Culex mosquito. This is the Culex mosquito. And so, out of all the diseases, what is a vector? Mosquito is the vector. So, we have to be very careful with these mosquitoes. We should not allow the mosquitoes to breed as well as to bite us. So, how to avoid the mosquito? What can be done to keep us safe from the mosquito? That means we should not allow the mosquitoes to breed in our surroundings. So what can be done to stop the breeding of mosquito? What should we do? What can be done? So see the pictures. Put away the items that are outside and not being used because they could hold the standing water. So mosquitoes naturally breed over the stagnant water only, isn't it? So we should avoid the water stagnating. So put away the items where the water can be stored up. Okay, even if you store the water, it should be completely covered. Keep the flower pots and saucers free of standing water. Some plants such as bromeliads hold the water in their leaves. Flush out the water holding plants, that is flush out the water holding plants with your hose once a week. So what could be done in garden? You have to check whether the plant water is stored up anywhere. If it is there, you have to remove it, right? You should not allow the water to stagnate. And then at least once in a week empty, turnover, cover anything that could hold the water. It may be tire or buckets or toys or pools or pool covers, bird baths, trash or trash containers, whatever. If water is stored up there, it should be cleared up. It should be washed and then again water can be filled up, right? So if you keep your surrounding clean, definitely mosquitoes cannot breed. And then to prevent the mosquito bite, what can be done? You can use the mosquito net or mosquito screens or mosquito repellents or ointments can be used up to avoid the biting of mosquito. And then keep your surrounding clean. Don't allow the water to stagnate anywhere. Don't collect the water in the uncovered container such as water tank, pot or flower pot. Okay, and discarded tires. If the water is stagnating over there, it should be removed. Control of mosquito larva by spraying oil on the stagnated water body. Suppose if the water is stagnated, you should pour the oil over there so that mosquitoes cannot reach the water. And then you can spray the insecticides to kill the adult mosquitoes. Or even eucalyptus oil can be used over the skin to avoid the biting of mosquito. So in these ways you can prevent yourself from the mosquitoes and control the breeding of mosquitoes. So be aware of the mosquitoes. It's really very dangerous. So let me wind up the class with this. Today we have discussed about the vector-borne diseases, and in the vector-borne diseases especially we have discussed about mosquito. Mosquito are the vectors which carries the infection from one person to the other person. So we have to be very careful with the mosquito. Keep your surroundings clean and lead a healthy life. Thank you.